should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Take me up into the mountains, send me up into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's time to find a friend, one who will stick by to the end. Going out of my mind in the middle, in the middle. Wasting all of my time in the middle, in the middle. I take the fight and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle.
Hey y'all, I don't know if you can hear. I didn't realize it had stopped. I apologize. I'm listening to Clue while we get this started. Let me play the kids. I'm finishing my makeup. Hold on just a minute.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad y'all are here with us today. I got a request to go over the autopsy reports in Idaho 4. I was able to locate those documents, and so we're going to go over them today. I was like, I'm not ready. She wasn't ready. Good to see you, honey. Okay. Thank you for being here. Lorianne, good to see you. Sarah, or Once Any Day, good to see you. Abella's my love. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Southern Cats and Mustang, it's good to see y'all. Thank you for being here. Hey, well, the thing is, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing all right. Hope the weather is, I hope you're keeping safe out there in this mess. Mustang, I don't know if I said you love, but if I didn't, good to see you. If I did, it's good to see you again. Cara, good to see you, my love. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my mods. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys being here day after day to support and help with the channel. You guys are amazing, and I feel like I don't thank you enough. And Angela, good to see you. Thank you to my subscribers that are also here day after day just to hang out and talk about these cases with me. You guys are also amazing, and you mean so much to me, and I just want to say thank you. Karen, good to see you, my love. I'm so glad you are here. Edith, good to see you, my love. And Jenny Jen, A1 from day one, good to see you. Cindy from sunny South Florida, stopping by to show some love. Good to see you. Thank you for showing some love. Thank you so much. Mrs. North, I got the reports. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Did you know that before I heard it? What? Mrs. North. All right. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time today, and this is, look at my forehead, about to land a damn 747 on it. Look at my forehead. This is why I wear a bandana. Do you see how big that forehead is? See, my hair's up there. It looks better. We'll have to delete that out of the live. People are going to be like, look at that ugly bitch. I'll be a bitch, but hopefully not ugly. That's why I wear a bandana. My damn forehead, I feel like I could land a damn plane on that bitch. No. You have an article on Daniel Martell? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Did you send it to me in Discord? Let me check. Let me check it. All of the thingas. Okay. What I was saying was I don't have a lot of time. We got a Uno reverse. I assume y'all were watching Granny this morning. Look. We got the Uno reverse. Yep, she sent it to me. Hold on, let me email it to myself and we'll talk about it. All right, I emailed it. Okay, what I was saying now for the third time, I apologize, squirrel brain. I have an appointment today, so I can only go for what, an hour and a half? Yeah, I got about an hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to get through what we can today, but I feel like this is definitely going to be at least a 2-day stream. I am going to talk to we are going to look at the autopsy reports and definitely get that today. Darzilla, good to see you. Miss Holly J, good to see you. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Appreciate it so very much. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate y'all being here day after day. Oh, shit, son. 12 minutes ago. Holy shiznit. Holy fuck. We got to have a clip for this. Here we go.
What the helly? What the helly Yante? What the helly on? What the helly Barry? What the hell?
What the helly Barry? Let me get my timestamp. All right. What the helly Barry? What the helly Barry is this? Thank you so much, Nightbot. You are so amazing for letting everybody know that this subject matter is triggering. Make sure you throw some oil at the Nightbot. Make sure he's well lubricated and fed. Damn, Daniel. Said Shelby. Damn. What the helly Barry? Mrs. North said, hey, everyone, I've got a big forehead too. Members of the Big Forehead Club, come sit over here. For some reason, I look weird without hoops, too. Mysteries of the universe that make you go, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me put y'all up on the stage here so everybody can see your wonderful comments. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's read this article. What the hellion is going on here? It reads, this is from the CBC out of Canada. Trusted news source reads, stepfather of missing Nova Scotia children faces charges involving an adult. From 12 minutes ago. Daniel Martell, under the photo, it reads, Daniel Martell is a stepfather of Lily and Jack Sullivan, who went missing from Lansdowne, Nova Scotia on May 2nd of 2025. Daniel Martell, the stepfather of 2 Nova Scotia children who disappeared nearly 9 months ago, has been charged with SEXUAL, assault and forcible confinement, CBC News has learned. Nova Scotia RCMP confirmed that Martell was arrested on Monday and is facing 3 charges involving an adult victim. Whoa.
What the fuck is going on here?
What the fuck is going on? What the hell? Hey, Rhonda, good to see you, my love. Oh my God. Right. What the actual fuck? Martell is due in Pictou Provincial Court on March 2nd. Martell, whose age is 34, was living with Lily and Jack Sullivan and their mother at the time of their disappearance from his home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, last May. Lily, 6, and Jack, 4, were reported missing on May 2nd of 2025 when their mother called 911. Search and rescue teams spent days combing the thick woods surrounding the rural home in the sparsely populated community of Lansdowne. But the extensive grid search turned up little evidence apart from a pink blanket and a child-sized boot print. Since then, authorities have brought in cadaver dogs, conducted 75 interviews and several polygraph examinations, reviewed 1,066 tips and 8,000 video files, and have assigned RCMP units from multiple provinces to investigate the case. The children's disappearance has fueled widespread speculation and accusations online amid international media attention. But RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon said earlier this month that none of the children's family members were suspects in the disappearance, saying, quote, I wouldn't say anybody is a suspect, unquote. We continue to gather information, whatever evidence that we are able to find, and we'll make our decisions based on that, unquote, said McCammon, the officer in charge of major crime and behavioral sciences. So again, Daniel Martell was charged with sexual assault and forcible confinement. And he's going to court on March 2nd. Sexual assault and confinement, forcible confinement. Hey, Anders, good to see you. I don't know. I'm surprised by the SA too. It sounds like, if I had to guess, if I had to speculate, considering that there's been allegation, there might have been some kind of substance use going on just because there's been allegations of that in the past. Or there might not have been. Either way, it sounds like he basically told somebody they couldn't leave, a female, I'm assuming, that she couldn't leave, she wasn't allowed to leave, and then forced himself on her. She might have said, no, I don't want to do this right now. It might have been somebody he was in a relationship with, and she might have said, no, I don't want to do this. And he's locking her up, and that happens. What the fuck, Daniel? That's not good. And it's going to be all over these YouTube streets. It's probably live sparking up right now. If y'all don't mind, please twinkle, twinkle to the thumbs up. Basil's going to tickle your foot. He tickles my feet. It's so funny. He'll come up and rub his nose. Let me get y'all to twinkle, twinkle, baby.
Come on, players. Stop hating. Stop hating. Start participating. Start participating, star. Come on, twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Please don't be sorry for that. That we needed to talk about this. It was very important. I appreciate it. Abellis is very disappointed. I am too. I don't know if he had a moment
where he made some decisions that he shouldn't have because of substances or because of anger or what. But this is not good at all. I don't personally we're only given this information, right? That Daniel has been charged with sexual assault and forcible confinement, and that he has court on March 2nd. That's all we know right now, right? I don't think it's Malaya. Thank you so much for twinkling on the way in. He couldn't deal with people not wanting to get involved with him. You think so? It's a possibility. Mustang said, I'm not surprised. Sorry, that guy acts like he's enjoying the attention, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would act in that situation. I probably would be out here trying to put out my side too, but he's not out here. I will say, in my opinion, and I respect yours, of course, I respect everybody's opinion. He's definitely not out here like Daryl, Darnell, whatever his name is, that's all over everywhere and like, oh, I'm lying because that's what I have to do to catch these fuckers up and shit like that. Boy, I bet he's already out here on these YouTube streets somewhere in one of them damn chats. He's probably already out here or on the damn way. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Damn, that's fucked up. He was often in front of the camera, right, Anders? So good to see you. I love your cap. Abella said he's been under extreme stress, but hurting others is not a solution or an answer.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
Exactly. Exactly. I think he's been under a lot of stress, but that is no fucking excuse to do something like that. I understand getting angry and upset, especially if you really care about somebody and you're in a relationship with them, but shutting the door and telling them they're not allowed to leave and trying to do things with them if they're telling you no that they don't want to, then you don't do that kind of shit. You got to be a fucked up individual to do that kind of shit. I would be really interested to read the arrest affidavit. You know what Mustang said? It seems the attention isn't on the children, and that's very true. That's very true. It's not as bad as the Sebastian Rogers case, but it's a hard line, right? Because what do? Like you want to get their story out here. You want everybody to see their face. So if they're out there and somebody has them and they're walking around, you never know who might have seen a poster or flyer and realize that that is the child in the poster or flyer and bring them home, right? But at the same time, I'm sure you get inundated with people wanting to talk to you and give you an interview and see, get your side of the story, and you want to get that out here. And then it becomes about the parents and the speculation and who did what. And this one's guilty and this one's guilty and this one uses substances and this one doing that. And it does often lose sight of the children. I want to see the hearing too. And the evidence. Me too. Me too. I'm going to work on trying to get that too, but I don't know. It's hard to get records for me out of Canada, because I'm not Canadian. Very interested in what the story is behind this. It'll probably be on YouTube by tomorrow. Somebody will probably have it. Mrs. North said, isn't that exactly what Malaya said? Not the SA part, but taking her phone and not letting her leave. Yep, it sure is. And it really is interesting that this is coming out not long after those documents got unsealed. So maybe it could be related to that. But no, I mean, thinking about it, probably not, because the police that are doing the investigation have had that evidence for 9 months now. At least 8.5, right? Because they got it shortly after the children went missing. So I don't think it would be related to that. The only reason it was brought back up is because it was just unredacted or released to the public, not to everybody else. Hey, Angela. Good to see you. You can try, if you can get it, let me know, love. That would be really cool. I'd appreciate it. They show from the interview room. I hope they do too, from the courthouse. Heck yeah. Vicky the Leo, good to see you. Good to see you, beautiful. I'm glad you're here. I'm so proud of the woman who came forward. Hold on just a minute.
These motherfuckers out here scamming me, trying to. Lord of mercy. Could y'all hear me? I thought I muted it. You think it's the new girl? It probably is the new girl. That woman on the phone said, "We're calling you about the card that we've mailed you, the credit card we mailed you that you activated. Bitch, ain't nobody. Nope. Like, I had to say hello 6 times. There's people talking in the background. I'm gonna need some other evidence other than that. But enough about me. That's not what this stream is about. I can't believe this. Definitely gonna need that to see that arrest affidavit. SA and assault enforceable confinement. He's going to be in Pick 2 Provincial Court March 2nd. Let me see if it could be. Hold on. I needed to write down the name of the court. Let's see if there's a possibility that it could be streamed. For those who are unable to watch today, the archived webcast of Judge Dale Atwood's sentencing of Sean Wade Hines will be posted on the court's website. Let's see what this said, because it might give us a website we can look at. Let's go there and see what this is. Webcasts. Nova Scotia courts recognize that live webcasts of court proceedings are a proven way to help educate the public about the legal system. Since 2008, the Nova Scotia courts have live streamed dozens of matters, mostly appeals, sentencing decisions, and certification hearings in class action lawsuits. To access the archived videos, please visit the court's Vimeo page. So what? I'm going to write down Nova Scotia courts, VIMEO. We can try that. That'd be archived information. That would be like after it happened. Now we'll go to the actual website and see what it says. That's what the courthouse looks like. That's really pretty the way they did the windows. That's pretty interesting. All levels, the Pick 2 County Court, the Pick 2 Court, Pick 2 or Pictou, I apologize for whichever way it's supposed to be said that I'm not saying it. The courthouse serves all of the county. All levels of court, except for the Court of Appeal, sit in this building. It's Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Rules, forms, dockets, virtual court. Virtual court options, including remote appearances by telephone and video conferencing platforms, allow courts to hear matters during the pandemic. Virtual court continues to be available for most appeal, civil, criminal, and family law matters. They're fully remote hearings. I don't think that's what we are looking for. Every year, summer internship, no. That's something they did. The Nova Scotia court used Microsoft Teams for virtual court proceedings and many type of remote appearances. Let's go back. Public. Representing, costs and fees, weddings. Okay, let's go back and click on media. Canadians live in a society that places high value on openness in the justice system. By enabling the public to attend court proceedings and allowing access to court documents, citizens can learn about law firsthand. However, the reality is most citizens learn about the legal system through movies, television, and news coverage of court proceedings. Citizens need to see courts and the justice system operate openly and fairly. For this reason, Supreme Court of Canada has recognized on numerous occasions that the media, as representatives of the public, must be given special consideration when applying certain rules and policies of the courts. Journalists have the responsibility to ethically report the news of the courts in a balanced and accurate manner. Sensational or inaccurate news coverage can have a direct impact on public confidence and in the judiciary and courts. These resources intend to help journalists access the information that they are entitled to under the law and policies of Nova Scotia courts and to better understand how the legal system operates. Any questions should be directed to Andrew Prier. I'll write that down and call him and ask if it's going to be live streamed, and I'll have to get back to you. ANDREPER at 902-222-0266. I'll actually email him. Oh, no. Okay. They have a media liaison committee, but it doesn't. Okay. To request an official court audio, an applicant must fill out a file form with the appropriate court. The completed signed forms can be submitted through the court administration. So we can do that too. I'll download that and try to save that, because that would only be like 20. It said it was what, $22. If we can get that, there's a fee of $22.57 plus HST to produce the audio. There's also a charge of $1 plus HST per log sheets. All right, so that's what I have on that so far. Oh, no, not that one, this one. Damn. Amazon, okay. There is a telephone at my port, so I have to let Amazon in. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Not sure. Let me try to find out. I don't know if AI even knows that he's in jail. Oh, it says, hold on. Says Daniel Martell is currently not in jail. He has been involved in an ongoing investigation related to the disappearance of his children, but there are no confirmed reports of him being incarcerated at this time. But everything that's coming out is just from 11 minutes ago, so it might not be out yet. This might give us a little bit more information. It reads, stepfather of missing Sullivan children charged with assault, forcible confinement, said the Nova Scotia RCMP. The stepfather of Lily and Jack Sullivan, who have been missing from their Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia home since last May, has been charged with assault, forcible confinement, and sexual assault. Allison Gerard, senior communications advisor with the Nova Scotia RCMP, confirmed that Daniel Robert Martell, 34, was arrested around 11:30 a.m. last Monday. Police say the charges involve an adult victim. Martell is due in Pictou Provincial Court on March 2nd. None of the charges against him have been proven. And then it tells us that Lily 6, Jack 4 were reported missing from their Gerlach Road home on May 2nd, 2025. Police have conducted multiple searches for the children, but have yet to find them. So we did get that he was arrested at 11:30 a.m. on Monday. So I'm assuming he bonded out. HST is a provincial tax. Okay, thank you. Oh, I hope you feel better, Vicky. My bonus children's mother has COVID right now, and she's just, it's awful. Poor thing. I talked to her this morning. She's not doing good. Yeah, he was arrested. We were trying to figure out if he was in jail or if he bonded out. AI says he's not in jail right now, but all of this information is just hitting the news right now. Like, I doubt anybody's even put this out yet. Damn, that's crazy. All right. I don't have a lot of time today, like I said before, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up these documents so that we can go through them. Okay, I have mine watermarked, but if you want it without the watermark, I do have it available on my Patreon. Now, this document has a lot of documents in it, including the DNA evidence with the photos that go with it, right? I want to talk about the autopsy report because that is what today's live is about. This is all explaining how to collect DNA, where to collect it from, and how they do that, right? But it also shows photos of okay, this is the autopsy, I think. I'm going to scroll down and just show you guys. See, it's got photos of the house, but it was showing photos of those are redacted photos. It was showing photos of like the blood splatter. See, there it talks about the knife. And here, where we were looking at the photos, and it tries to, we were trying to figure out what it was. Like it says stain 41, which was on the railing of the steps, is a transfer stain, which we figured out it was. Swiping is visible within the pattern. It was positive with presumptive testing for blood, and it matched Madison Mogan. So it wasn't Xana's blood. It was something that Brian transferred there. So we've got all that stuff to go over too. However, I don't think we'll get to it today, but I am dying to know this one, the ping pong table. So this reads the living room area. This photo depicts the living room area within the residence. Within this area, there's a sofa, television, and a beer pong table. A metal framed console table is partially visible against the wall opposite the sofa. A narrow path exists between the metal console table and the beer pong table. The two overturned red cups and a partially empty Bud Light lime bottle is noted on the beer pong table, along with a wooden handled knife. The photo depicts the overall location of two stained areas on the ping pong table. Stain 39 is indicated by the yellow arrow on top of the table shown in greater detail. Right here, this stain. Presumptive testing of stain 39 for blood was positive. It demonstrates the appearance of a diluted blood stain, and this stain on the table revealed the DNA of Kaylee Gonzalez. And we've got a 41, item 76. I guess it just gives us the person who tested it. The presence of an overturned cup in the vicinity of stain 39 is a potential source of the dilution if the cup in fact contacted a source of liquid. It is unclear if the cup contained a liquid at some time or if it was part of the setup for the beer pong game. Splatter stain F is on the edge of the west side of the table. It is depicted by an orange arrow and shown in greater detail in the next picture. Right here, 39, you see that. And then this. The ones that we looked at on the table, we were trying to figure out if it was blood, and I was saying that it could be an overturned drink or something. It was positive for blood, but the DNA was not identified. The extremely elongated shape of stain F is attributable to an acute angle of incidence between the source object and the side of the beer pong table. That's interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm really looking forward to going over the DNA and photos with y'all. But today we're going to talk about this autopsy. I believe it was Mrs. North let me know that they were out. I'd seen something on it, and she wanted to talk about it. So I worked on getting it, and my lovely mods helped me. I have a few YouTube notifications about Daniel's arrest. Did they just come through one sunny day? don't they expect you? How dare they expect you to do your job when I'm live? Right. I'm assuming that she participated in some beer pong at one point for her blood to be there, or somebody that she was close with. Like for me, if Mr. Speculating was playing beer pong, I might be standing close by him. And if something happened and something happened that made me bleed, my blood might be on the beer pong table, even if I didn't play beer pong. But they probably all did. It seems like they all drank and had parties like normal young adults do, especially in sororities and frats. Mrs. North said, I heard Kim Means talking about it and how you just never know until you know. Yeah. Lorianne said, please say a prayer for my friend Brandy. She's on dialysis and it's her birthday. We'll tell her we said happy birthday and I will send her an amazing. Tell her we said happy birthday and I hope her dialysis goes good. Yeah, thank you guys. She was in a drinking contest, I've heard. I've not heard that. Thank you for that information. That's really interesting. Okay, so let's talk about the autopsy. This is going to be graphic. We're going to start at the beginning. And I'm going to put a banner up because this is going to be triggering. It's going to be hard to hear. And it's going to be graphic. Yeah, thank you, love. Hey, Kimmy C123. Good to see you. I didn't even notice you had strolled right on in. You strolled past me. You strolled right on past. Okay. So this is a revised report dated February 13th of 2025, and the original report date was August 29th of 2024. Decedents are Kaylee J. Gonzalez, Madison M. Mogan, Xana A. Kernodle, and Ethan J. Chapman. Hold on a minute, just so because I really like to remind you that these were real people. Try it a different way. Yeah. So I'm going to play these videos, one or two of them, just so you realize that these were real people who didn't deserve anything that happened to them.
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy. Oh my God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drop from class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it. Oh shit, you guys, it's 8. Gotta go. Thanks, Colin. Oh, thanks, Colin. Oh my God, I look horrid. Oh, Murphy, you look so cute. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out. Hey guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but like, what would you guys do in my situation? Dana, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta go pull you out. Failed trauma already. Dana, do like a wine night? Like, let's just do a wine night.
Yo, is it okay if I have a party? Like, just 3 or 4 people at most.
And it never ends up being 3 or 4 people.
Like dirty dick in here.
Just young adults. I mean, it just breaks my heart, man.
Do you think anyone would drink wine? I'll have some wine. I didn't even think of it, really, because, you know, I'm not a big drinker, but maybe I should have something.
You're not a big drinker?
Only when I ain't in bed on my own, and I wake up and I don't see your name on my phone. It's the moments when I
would drink wine? I would.
So please keep that in mind as we read these reports. These were real people that didn't deserve anything that happened to them. And the motherfucker who got a plea deal for this horrific crime should have never been able to entertain a plea deal, much less get one. I've stated that over and over. Hey, Boris, good to see you. You're still at work right now. Buenos Aires from Europe. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in, love. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I know they were mocking each other, and it's just it's so cute to me because you can still see they're very young. Like it reminds me of teenagers, right? But we know they were adults but they're still very much in the mindset of like a teenager, and it just breaks my heart to see that shit. Okay. So this is the state of Idaho versus Brian Koberger, Latah case, and it gives the number. And again, this is the autopsy report for Kaylee J. Gonzalez, Madison M. Mogan, Xana A. Kernodle, and Ethan J. Chapin from 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. Basis for revised report. The report in the above-mentioned case was originally issued on August 29th of 2024 and is being revised due to the following. 1. Update list of, quote, items received, unquote, to reflect. A. Defense reports received on January 30th of 2025 to original list of, quote, items received, unquote. Hold on just a minute. I wanted to go ahead and put this on X too, because I know a lot of people, or some people over there were watching. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Afternoon all. He should have been given life in prison. He should have been given the fucking death penalty.
Boom, 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 bam.
Like, you want to feel something, motherfucker, feel it. Feel it. I hope he feels it every day in jail. I hope he feels a big old sausage dog every fucking day in jail. I hope it's nasty. I hope he can't stand it. Yep. Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Oh, yes, he was given life in prison, by the way, Tammy. But yeah, I think he should have gotten the death penalty. Thank you, Cara, for the correction on that. Okay. B, is evidence list received via email from Officer Timothy Smaldridge, Moscow Police Department, February 10th of 2025. 2, addition of rebuttal to the reports prepared by the defense experts Matt Noedel, Appendix A, and Dr. Brent Chervy, Appendix B, received on January 30th of 2025. Address the discrepancy in DNA testing results related to the following stains identified in my original report issued on August 29, 2024, as depicted in the report prepared by Matt Noedel. And then we've got a number 1 right beside it. So we scroll down here to number 1. It says Exhibit D6, Matt Noedel, January 22nd of 2025. And it gives us a number. It says page 42. Let's see if there's a photo on page 42 real quick. And then we'll go right back up to that because they're talking about that photo. There probably is, but it's redacted. Yep. It's from the bedroom of Xana, but that one is redacted. Okay. Okay. Mr. Noedel reported that the numbers reflected on the placards depicted in the scene photographs were not the same as the sample numbers used when the evidence was submitted to the laboratory for testing. One needed to increase the placard number by 6 to correlate the intake number, the pre-logging number, used when samples were submitted to the laboratory for testing. So basically, when they put a number by the photos, let me see. I know there's some in here to show you what I'm talking about. I don't have the drive pulled up with the photos on it, but I know that in some of the unredacted photos, we'll see the placard. It's like the little thing they set up. It could be like the numbers you see here, like 39 and stuff, but it's more so the little like thing that stands up. Lordy have mercy. I'll make one real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, gracious, I lost my spot. It's like it's not the number things, but it's like a thing that'll be like, you know, so it'll be like this, and then they set it beside something, and it's like number F. Like if my Red Bull was sitting here on the table, this might be beside it as like item F that they found of evidentiary value, and they would be getting DNA from it, right? They're saying that the placards that they said they took samples, like if they were to take a sample of this DNA on my Red Bull can, right? And it's got this F placard beside it, and they took a picture of it. And they submitted this sample, but it said GHI, something to that effect. They're saying we know that it came from this Red Bull can, and the placard has the number F, but the sample you gave us has the letter G, not the number, the letter F, but the sample you gave us has the letter G. So that needed to be fixed from the original report. So they were saying that they had fixed that. Okay. So again, one needed to increase the placard number by 6 to correlate the intake number or the pre-logging number used when samples were submitted to the laboratory for testing. To confirm this observation, I requested the original evidence log from the Moscow Police Department on February 10th of 2025 and compared the information to the laboratory worksheets. Mr. Nodell's observation does appear to be correct, so the laboratory results for several stains were amended. A. Stain F on the beer pong table in the living room, results were corrected. Stain at placard 48 on Mogan's bedroom door, the results were corrected. Stain at placard 42 on Mogan's bedroom door, results were corrected. Stain at placard 41 on handrail from stairs from 3rd floor to 2nd floor, results were corrected. So these are the ones that the results, it was labeled wrong, and they're saying we corrected these results, and in this revised report, which means it's a second report, they have corrected all of those things. Evidence markers. Yes, Kimmy C. Thank you. I was on it. I have to switch between pages, so I didn't see it. Right. He would cry about something even if they had him at the Ritz. With death penalty, he wouldn't be harassed like he is now. Perfect. You know, he might be in solitary. That's very possible. I still would rather have him on death row, I think. Cara said yes, but they still find ways to mess with him. The inmates use the vents and toilets to mess with him, from what I've heard. Yep. I've talked to y'all about that when I was living a very different lifestyle, and how we would communicate through the vents and the toilets and stuff. It's pretty interesting and pretty nasty. But jail is a nasty place. He's also a germaphobe and doesn't have access to clean anything. Nope. Thank you, Boris, for that. I do hope they rest in peace. Yeah, it is frustrating to see they didn't mark the evidence property. And hello, brown-eyed butterfly. It's good to see you, my love. You're so pretty. They need to drive him crazy. He's getting away with 4 homicides, even in prison. There are a lot of people grieving. I've heard that Mr. Gonzalez is trying to make sure that he gets taken care of in there to an extent, you know. Okay, so they fixed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 placards, corrected the results. We just did the handrail upstairs from 3rd floor to 2nd floor. They corrected one on the study desk in Kernodle's bedroom, and on the exterior of Kernodle's bedroom door, and on the floor of Kernodle's bedroom near bedroom door. Number 4 says delete original conclusion 6 from my original report dated August 29, 2024, which said, due to erroneous DNA results from stain F on the edge of the beer pong table, the original conclusion read, quote, a single splatter stain attributed to the blood of Xana Kernodle located on the edge of the west side of the table on the 2nd level indicates that she sustained injury in this area. There is no physical evidence to indicate that a significant amount of bleeding occurred in this area is retracted. Observation 8 regarding screening tests conducted on the debris from the third floor bedroom floor is amended to reflect the weekly positive O-tolidine test result when examined at the laboratory. Opinion 10 is added to the report regarding speculation about secondary footwear transfer stains. Items examined. On September 27th of 2023, I was contacted by prosecuting attorney William W. Thompson Jr. and senior deputy prosecuting attorney Ashley Jennings of Latah County, Idaho, regarding the above referenced case. On November 6th of 2023, I received a Seagate 1 TB portable storage device from Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office via FedEx Ground. The storage device was password protected, and the password associated with this hard drive was sent via an email from Ms. Jennings on October 31st of 2023. Contained on this storage device were all of the crime scene photos. One folder had 10 images, 125, 497, 29, 999, one had a 1,481, 37 images, and it gives different dates. First officer on scene, Noon's body cam. He also got autopsy reports and photographs. For Ethan Chaplin, autopsy report and photographs, which was 229 images. Kaylee Gonzalez, autopsy report and photographs, which was 314 images. Madison Mogan, autopsy report and photographs, which was 274 images. Xander Kernodle, autopsy report and photographs, which was 654 images. Laboratory reports from Idaho State Police Forensic Services, and I think that's the names or their reports. That's going to be probably the police report where they write their reports and it's given the number that they wrote. On December 21st of 2023, I traveled to Idaho and examined the residence at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. At the time of my examination, all physical contents and areas of blood staining had been removed. During the site inspection on December 21st of 2023, the following additional files were provided: 1122 King Road video, Exhibit 46, and Brian Koberger apartment search and photographs. There was one that contained 250 images, one that had 411, and the folder storage unit had 20. The Hyundai Elantra had 634, the Koberger family home 327, and the WSU office photographs had 55. They received a lab report from the Idaho State Police Forensics. They got different things through email. And he also received an evidence list from an officer via an email. Case summary. On November 13th of 2022, Moscow, Idaho police officers were contacted by friends of the residents of the multi-bedroom house at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. Officers discovered Xander Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, in a bedroom on the second level of the residence. Upon further search, officers discovered Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan in a bedroom on the third level of the residence. No medical intervention was attempted. Do we know why no medical intervention was attempted? Because they were just too far gone. And this motherfucker got a plea deal. Edith, good to see you, love. Thank you for dropping that link, Cara. Let me try to access the live and see if I can get it. I just want to pull it up so I have it. I appreciate you dropping that, and so everybody could know. I'll try to go over it at the end. A ventilation system is so romantic. Yeah, we have one get pregnant through the vent, which was insane. Thank you for dropping those links about his life in prison. What we can do is pray for Madison, for Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. We sure can. And we can know that even though their time here on life was on earth was short and taken way too soon, that they are looking down from heaven and they see, you know, that people out here do care about them and share their story, and nobody has forgotten them. The whole world knows who they are. just from a photograph, you know? We can find solace in that and pray for the families too. Okay. Autopsies. All autopsies were performed by Chief Medical Examiner and Forensic Pathologist Veena Singh, MD, MPH, at the Spokane County, Washington Office of the Medical Examiner. Kaylee J. Gonzalez, autopsy 2. Autopsy to the second power is actually what it says. And it says autopsy, and it gives a photograph number down at the bottom where it says number 2 for Kaylee Gonzalez. Cause of death, multiple sharp force injuries. Significant contributions to death, blunt force injuries of the head, asphyxial injuries. So he stabbed her. She had injuries to her head. He hit her in the head, and asphyxial injuries where he tried to choke her, I'm assuming. Significance findings include stab wound and incised wound of the scalp, face, and neck. There was more, 24 plus, so possibly more than 24. He stabbed her in the scalp, face, and neck 24 fucking times. Like, that's up close, that's personal, that's angry, that's jealous. Like, you know, you're so beautiful, I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to fuck up your beauty. Like, just angry, like frenzied, like I know I can't have you, so I'm going to disfigure you. Yes, brown-eyed evil personified. We don't. Hold on a minute. Okay, I apologize. That was a message from the school. We don't really think of their everyday friends. Their sorority sisters are struggling. You know, we don't, Tammy. We don't. And I'm glad you said that, because we do need to think about that too. We need to think about the friends that they had, the friend that walked through the house that saw everything, Dylan and Bethany. We need to pray for them too. She suffocated with the stab wounds. Okay, I very well could have misunderstood it, because I'm by no means a medical professional. Thank you for that. All right, continuing. There was stab and incised wounds of the chest. What is incised? Says that incised just means sharp force trauma. Incised wounds, causes and characteristics. Incised wounds are caused by sharp force trauma, typically resulting from sharp-edged objects like knives, razor blades, or broken glass. They are characterized by clean, straight cuts through the skin and underlying tissues, often appearing linear or slightly curved, with sharp, well-defined edges. These wounds are usually longer than they are deep, indicating a slicing motion and lack, quote, tissue bridging, unquote, which is common in blunt force injuries. Hair follicles within the wound area are also cleanly cut, reflecting the instrument's sharpness. Immediate care for an incised wound involves stopping the bleeding, cleaning the area, and covering it with a sterile dressing to prevent infection. So she had 11 stab wounds to her chest. Stab and incised wounds to the upper extremities, there was 3. I think Cara sent me a video that said there was over 100 stab wounds to everybody. That's why he had to sit in that chair. I genuinely think that Maddie or Kaylee, the one that had the bedroom there, I think that she was the only, Maddie, I think that she was the only intended victim. I think that Kaylee was in the bed with Maddie, so obviously he had to do something to her too. And then Xana saw him, so he had to take her out, and Ethan was in there, so he took her out. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. It is. It's just really upsetting. Carr said the two surviving roommates must have the worst survivor's guilt, and I'm sure they're beating themselves up every day that they didn't call 911 sooner. Yep. To be fair, I think that I'm going to say, and I think I've heard somebody else say before, that even if they had called 911, there was no saving them. Like, even if she'd have called 911 pretty much immediately, they wouldn't have been able to have been saved, unfortunately. Dylan said in her victim impact statements that she had got harassed for that. I don't understand it, but I can't blame them. I can't either. I don't know why anyone would think Maddie and Kaylee were posed. It looked like Xana could have been moved because her head was laying on a pillow, which we discussed in the previous live stream where we did the pictures. It's going to be the live stream before this where we go over the photos from Xana's room, and it looks like she was placed with her head on a pillow. Okay, number 4, again for Kaylee, reads that there was punctures of the outer table of the skull, injuries to the teeth and tongue, perforations of the subclavian artery and vein, hemorrhage into the chest cavities. Blunt force injuries include sharp laceration, bleeding around the brain, nasal fracture, scrapes on the nose and cheeks, bruising around the eyes, patterned bruises extending across the lower face. There was a petechial hemorrhages were present in the eyes and mouth. Blood alcohol concentration of 0.107 grams per 100 milliliters. Other findings were patchy hemispiration pattern with evidence of blood in upper and lower airways. She fought back. He beat the fuck out of her. She had choked on her blood, from what it sounds like, and her artery was cut. Just evil personified, rage, anger, frenzied. Nobody deserves this shit. It is really sad. Yeah, I don't think he stayed there very long. I don't think he would have had a lot of time to pose them either. I don't know. It looked like Xana had been moved on that pillow. I don't think she died with her head on the pillow, but I could be wrong. All right. Madison Mogul, the date and time of the autopsy was November 16th of 2022 at 2:25 p.m. Cause of death was multiple sharp force injuries. Significant findings included a stab and incise wounds in the scalp, face, and neck. There was 13. Stab wounds of the chest was 5. Incised wounds of the upper extremities, which is going to be like the arms, is going to be 10. She had wounds of her lung and her liver. There was perforations of the subclavian vein, subclavian artery, and blood vessels of the chest wall. And she had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.28 grams per 100 milliliters. Other finding was incision in the nasal septum, perforation of the tongue and oral mucosa, and serosanguineous third find in upper and lower airways. Serosanguineous refers to a type of wound drainage that is a mixture of serous fluid and red blood cells, resulting in a light pink, thin, and watery appearance. This type of drainage is normal during the early stages of wound healing and indicates that the wound is healing properly. If the drainage changes colors or has an unpleasant odor, it may indicate infection, and a healthcare provider should be contacted. So the Sigenius wound, was it already healing? Third, it was in the upper and lower airways. I don't think so. I don't think there could have been a wound that was mainly blood in the no, it was serum and blood in the airways. Maybe it's mixed with saliva. And the blood alcohol, the alcohol being in their blood, I think is indicative of a party happening that night. And I think that's why we see all the beer cans and things on the steps and by the doors, is because they had a party that night and they passed out from the party. Maybe that, I mean, it could be. But for it to be in her airways, I would think that that's going to be like from the stab wounds. That's not usually something you would heal from unless she like had a bad cough and was sick and was coughing and it tore the lining of her lungs and stuff, her airways, then that could be possible. But I think it was probably just saying that it was blood mixed with like basically saliva or some kind of fluid from inside. That would explain a lot why the others wouldn't have heard or been able to react. Everybody was partying, but not in the same place, said Anders. And then Southern said that would explain a lot why the others wouldn't have heard or been able to react. Maybe. He was still alive for a bit. Kaylee and Maddie were at a bar. Xana and Ethan were at a party that night. Yep, they were at separate places. Thank you for that. I believe it was admitted by one of the surviving roommates they were partying at a house and then to another house and then went back home. Yeah, I remember that. Thank you, guys. All right, Xana Kernodle. And it has number 4. It's telling us that number 3 was Madison Mogul. Number 4 is Xana Kernodle. And it gives us, I think, the picture, but they're redacted. The autopsy was done November 16th of 2022 at 11:15 a.m. Cause of death was multiple sharp force injuries. Other injuries were abrasions and contusions of the head, torso, and extremities. Significant findings include stab and incised wounds of the scalp, face, and neck, 23. Stab wounds of the chest was 7. Stab wounds to the abdomen was 4. Incised and puncture mark wounds of the back was 3. That's really important. That tells us that she was up and fighting him. She turned at some point to try to get away, and he stabbed her in the back 3 times. And another thing that's standing out to me as I read this is that he's stabbing them in the face, everybody, in their scalp, in their face, and in their neck repeatedly. Like, that's anger at to me it's like hostility because you're so beautiful, you're so pretty. I know I can never get a girl like you. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Hey, Tom. Good to see you. It does show a lot of hate. It does. Jimmy Jim, thank you for dropping that trigger warning. I appreciate it, love. Incised wounds at the upper extremities was 25. Lower extremities was 5. So everybody's had upper extremities, and now we're seeing lower extremities, which is going to be the legs for Xana. Punctures of the outer table of the skull. Preparations of the jugular vein, heart, lung, and pulmonary blood vessels. Hemorrhage into the chest cavity. Wounds extending into the bones of the right hand. Jesus Christ. Scrapes and bruises on the face, torso, and extremities. Her blood alcohol was 2.29 grams per milliliter. She had an amphetamine level of 12 mg per milliliter, that's the room where we see the card with the rolled up dollar bill. And I think that they were just snorting Adderall, which again, I've said, I think it's normal for kids, especially in college. A lot of kids will do it in college to help them study and stuff. Xana had the most wounds, it sounds like it. He is a coward. Piece of fucking shit. Other findings was abundant blood mucoated material in airways and patchy hemospiration pattern in pulmonary parchemia. What does that mean? Patchy infiltrates are radiological findings characterized by non-uniform scattered paucities with the lung parachemia. These infiltrates can be indicative of a wide range of pulmonary conditions, making their identification and interpretation crucial in radiological diagnoses. So, I mean, they're getting stabbed in the basically in the lungs and are not able to breathe, is what I'm understanding, because of the chest wounds. 7. There were 7 chest wounds. So, of course, that would hit arteries. All right, Ethan Chapin's autopsy date and time was November 16th of 2022 at 8 a.m. Cause of death was multiple sharp force injuries. Significant findings included a stab and incise wounds of the scalp, face, and neck. There was 4. Stab wound of the upper chest was 1. Incise wounds of the upper extremities was 6. Lower extremities was 6. Preparations in the jugular vein, subclavian vein, and subclavian artery. His blood alcohol was 0.122 grams per milliliter, and he had an amphetamine level of 260 mg per milliliter. So he was doing more Adderall than drinking, I think, from what that says. Caveat: in the content of this report, stains or stain patterns that are visually consistent with blood will be referred to as blood or blood stains. All referenced definitions are taken from AAFS Standards Board, ASB Technical Report, First Edition 2017, Terms and Definitions and Blood Spatter Analysis. I'm going back because it sounded like, okay, so Kaylee had 24 stab wounds of the scalp, face, and neck. Madison had 13. And then Xana had 23. Ethan had 4. So Kaylee had the most. And Kaylee fought back. And then Xana's got more because she fought back. Maddie, I think, was the intended target and the person who probably died first. And she had 13. Mrs. North said he was at a paint where he'd gotten in trouble at his student job at Pullman and had been called out for misogynistic behavior towards students. Yeah, he has. Yeah, I've got to go to an appointment. So that's what I was saying. I unfortunately couldn't be live for a long time today because I do have an appointment this afternoon. But we've got about 10 more minutes before I have to go. I have an alarm set. If you look at people like Brian Koberger, let's say Elliot Rogers, for example, he significantly talked about homicide in couples because they purposely, quote, rubbing it in their faces that they're happy. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Madison that was working at the Greek vegan restaurant. Good to see you, Max. I like the pictures of the buildings that you take, Max. You do a good job with that. Tom said, and that fucker has the nerve to complain about the banana he gets in prison. Fuck you, BK. Yeah. Fuck him. I know I got a clip somewhere. Maybe not. Well, fuck him. And the cock he rode in on. I hate that motherfucker. Like, the more I read this shit, the more I hate him. All right. So we're going to talk about observations. The exterior of the residence. The building at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho is a multi-level house with 6 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms are located on the first floor as one enters from the parking area, depicted in this picture. The front entrance door depicted between the silver vehicle and the blue vehicle in this image located on the north of the building. So that's what you see if you walk up to it. There are 2 ways to access the second level of the residence, either by entering the door on the north side of the building, depicted in this picture, or by entering directly via a sliding glass door located at the back south side of the residence. The sliding glass door on the south side of the building is depicted in this photo and enters directly into the kitchen on the second level. This level includes a living area with a sofa and a beer pong table, a bathroom, the bedroom of Xana Kernodle on the west end of the building, and the bedroom of an additional resident on the east end of the building. Third level. The uppermost level of the residence is accessible via an internal stairwell from the second level and contains 2 bedrooms. One bedroom on the third level was reportedly assigned to Kaylee Gonzalez, and the other one was assigned to Madison Mogen. The bodies of Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogen were reportedly discovered in the bedroom assigned to Madison Mogen, as depicted in the photo. Miss Mogen was located on the south side of the bed, closest to the closet opening, and Miss Gonzalez was located on the north side of the bed, closest to the wall. Both are covered with a beige comforter. A white fleece item, which appears to be a blanket, is lying at the foot of the bed. They've redacted these photos. Madison Mogen and Kaylee Gonzalez are lying on their backs. Miss Gonzalez is partially lying on top of the right arm, right shoulder, and upper torso of Miss Mogen, as depicted in the picture. And they took one where the comforter was removed. So if Kaylee's laying on top of Maddie was definitely first, because Kaylee was partially lying on top of Maddie's right arm and right shoulder and upper torso. Damn. Even with Elliot, he was furious because he considered himself like every other frat boy, money, career driven, so couldn't understand that his own behavior, his creepy behavior, was weird. I heard that he ate at that restaurant too. Oh, he couldn't understand that his creepy behavior was weird to girls. Yeah, he's a monster. Worshipped Rogers, thus the Papa Rogers handle. Yeah. Hey, Grish. I think he climbed up to the balcony from the couch and entered in Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogen's room and worked his way downstairs. The ground floor roommates didn't hear him until he got Ethan and Xana. Maybe. I mean, we don't know, and I can't figure out how he didn't get any blood in the car with the amount of blood that we have seen in this house depicted. Like, it's absolutely insane, the amount of blood, and just hearing about all this. There's no footprints. We talked about him wearing suits and booties and stuff, but there's one swipe mark on the stairs. I don't know how he did it. So, until we find out, which I doubt we ever will. Okay, Cara, have a good day, love. Until we find out, which I doubt we ever will, because he doesn't have to tell anybody. A lot of things are possible. 6, the posture and proximity of the bodies of Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogen can be best visualized when the comforter is removed. A, no blood is noted on the bottoms or tops of their feet, indicating they were not upright or moving about the area after their bloodletting injuries were inflicted. B, the blood is visible on the bottom sheet. The blood visible on the bottom sheet is limited to the upper portion of the bed sheet at approximately chest level. According to their respective autopsy reports, no bloodletting injuries were reported below the waist or on the back of either Miss Gonzalez or Miss Mogan. And again, that's because they're laying down. Miss Gonzalez fought back, but she's still laying down while he's on top of her. Another redacted image taken at autopsy shows a clearer view of the sleep pants of Kaylee Gonzalez. The lack of blood on the front of her sleeping pants further supports the conclusion that Miss Gonzalez never stood upright after the bloodletting injuries to her upper body were inflicted, which means she never stood up after he started attacking her and she was stabbed. Miss Mogan's left leg is extended from under the bed covers and her left foot is on the floor, as depicted in the picture. A piece of debris is noted on the floor between the left foot of Madison Mogan and the pillow and is indicated by the yellow oval in the picture. A swabbing of the debris as well as the debris itself was tested for the presumptive presence of blood. The swabbing of the debris yielded a positive presumptive test for blood at the scene, but the O-totaline test conducted at the laboratory was weakly positive. I wish I knew what the debris was that was there. It should be noted that there was no drip trails of blood noted on the bedroom floor. Drip trails are indicative of movement by a bleeding individual. But how did Brian Koberger commit all those homicides like that and walk out of there without dripping blood? Oh my goodness. Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. That was so sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. Let me give you an amazing before I read who got the memberships.
Amazing.
I let Basil out this morning. He walked out on that icy snow that's by the door and he walked right back in. Those memberships went to Chicky V, UA Crimson Tide, M Minx, Island Princess Kimmy, Tripper, DJ Ghost Boy, Chloe's Mom, Bike Ride Account, Fonda Flamingo, Michelle Marsh, Auburn Cat Mom, Mama of Two Girls, Hobby Farmer, Jen Xer 76, Be Nice Try It, Madison, Glowy 4, Tony B, Diana Bree 13, and Miss Liverbird. If you guys were gifted from Abellis and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Abellis thank you. Thank you so much, my love. And I will grab the Polar Express to pick our new members up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Abellis. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much, Abellis. I really appreciate that. Hey, Crystal Burns, good to see you. Grish had said regular clothes over Trivac hazmat suit. Yep. Miss North said, I think BTK and Bundy as well. I think he went to Pullman because Bundy went to Washington U, and DR Ramsland's classes because of BTK. He plotted it all. I think so too. Edith said, hey to you, Grish. Thank you so much, my love. That was so sweet, and I really appreciate it. Oh, speaking of memberships, we're going to do a drawing on the 30th of January for 3 prizes, 3 sets. Like, it's going to be like the first prize is going to be several things. The second prize is going to be several things. And the third prize is going to be several things. They're going to be different things. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have it all ready by the January 30th, but I will show you what you won. I'm going to draw 3 names from our memberships. So if you want to be entered in that to win some really cool stuff, make sure you have a membership on the 30th of January when we do the drawing. And if you win, I will post pictures as soon as I'm done with everything and getting everything together of what you won. And I'm going to try to send everything off by Valentine's Day at the latest. It's going to take me a minute to get the stuff I need to make everything, but it's going to be really cool. And this will probably be one of the only like personalized handmade by me things that we do. I want to do merch and stuff for the next giveaway. So this one will probably be just ones that I've handmade. So if you want some handmade stuff or the possibility to have it, definitely make sure you're a member on the 30th. Whoop, 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 whoop. Tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm at the 31st, the last day of January. I want to do it the last day of January. So that gives me time to get everything together, figure out exactly how to do it, and try to be closer to having stuff done. So the 31st, the last day of January, which will be Saturday. Anders said, I think Koberger must have been drenched in blood. Right. My theory is that he wore scrubs. He had to be drenched in blood, but to get to be able to move throughout the house with very little blood transfer and no shoe prints at all, like he would have had to have several pairs of booties on, the hazmat suit, a shower curtain in his vehicle. Like it's a lot that he would have had to go through to not get blood any more than where he did. So in the next image, the comforter had been turned inward. The left leg of Madison Mogan is extended from the bed. Drip stains, spatter stains, transfer stains, and saturation stains are visible on the comforter and on the exposed bed sheets. Apparent strands of hair are also visible on the comforter. A large pool of blood has accumulated at approximately the thigh region of Kaylee Gonzalez, even though, referring to the autopsy report, no injuries are reported in this area to account for this pool of blood. For this large pool of blood to accumulate, a source of blood had to be above the area while bleeding occurred. So whose blood was it? Was it hers from where she was sitting up and fighting him, maybe? The distribution of bloodstains on the face and upper body of Kaylee Gonzalez, the bloodstain on the south wall beside the bed, and the pool of blood at Miss Gonzalez's thigh region on the comforter indicate her posture and position did change during this event. So again, she fought back. Spatter associated with impact is noted on all four walls of the bedroom, above the head of the bed, to the south wall beside Kaylee Gonzalez, to the north wall, and to the door at the foot of the bed. These areas will be described more fully in this report. All right, y'all, my alarm just went off, letting me know that I've got to end it because, like I said, I did have something that I've got to do today. I have a case that I haven't talked about yet that I want to get out. I also want to read this report and like put the pictures beside it that go through the crime scene and stuff like that. So I'm going to work on that stuff and try to get that out as soon as possible. We might do it in tomorrow's live stream. I'll just have to see if we're going to continue talking about this or go to something different. You guys can let me know. I might put a poll up to see if y'all want to talk about this other case that I have information on, or if you want to continue to talk about Idaho 4, and then I'll make a video about whichever one you guys don't want to talk about, and put a video out on it, and then we'll talk about whatever one y'all want to talk about. The VA wore waterproof mechanic suit from Walmart to gaslight Brian. They had the receipt for it. They had the receipt where Brian got it? That's interesting. A horrible crime in the making. He worked on this for a very long time. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. This was very planned out. And why? I've always said that it reminds me of the movie Murder by Numbers. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I think he wanted to feel something, and I think he wanted to commit the perfect crime. I think he wanted to be better than Bundy and BTK, and I think he studied what they did, what they got wrong, and was going to do it the right way. Maybe I can catch you Saturday if we don't lose power. I'll be on the road tomorrow. Okay, Angela. Yeah, I'm gonna do the drawing, and whoever wins, I'll post it, and so that person can get with me to give me an address to send this stuff to, and I will ship internationally if you win. And please be safe on the road. Everybody be safe, because the ice is melting, and in the mornings it's still slick out there. There's still snow. Y'all stay safe, stay warm, and keep those people that are just staying in vehicles to stay warm, that are homeless. Keep them in your prayers. Keep everybody in your prayers that's going through some things. They're calling for more snow where you're at, Southern. Oh my God. Y'all be safe. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I'll definitely be back tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Until then, know that you are important, you are special, and you are very much loved. Thank you, Abellis, again, for gifting 20 memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a beautiful evening. 8 inches, 2 to 12, says, and Angela's supposed to get 2 to 12 inches. And Southern Cats is supposed to get 8. That's insane. I'm sorry. Y'all be safe. Make sure you got what you need. Mainly heat and food, a little bit of food, and try to stay safe. I'll be checking in on y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Anders said in Koberger's apartment, they only found a little drop of blood on a pillowcase. Don't think it was from the victims. I don't understand how he got rid of everything and didn't leave blood anywhere. That was so sweet of you, Abellis. I really appreciate it. You think we're in the same storm? You might be. There might be snow coming back out here too, where I'm at. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Much love. Stay safe out there. And until tomorrow, bye.